Hey everybody, and welcome back to our second hour of Saving Throw Presents All Hallows Eve, our one-shot mini-series that has got some spooky vibes to it. So where we left off was the beginning of a lifelong friendship from two people who currently hate each other, or so it may seem.
I don't think Balthazar hates Frederick.
Not at all.
And
No.
so our players went to sleep for the evening, and we're waking up early as they head out towards a cave next to, I believe it was Draco's cavern.
Yeah. It was the Draco's Caverns.
Yep. So, with that said, where do you guys meet? Do you guys meet at the Pumpkin Spice Tavern, the Jack-o'-lantern Tavern? Do you meet back on the footsteps of the castle?
I feel like, well, I mean, Nicola's in the Hollows, Balthazar's in the Gloom, or is in Gloom. I feel like Frederick's place is in Gloom as well because that was the bar that he was staying at. So he probably got like a room or something in Gloom. So I would say it's probably easiest for us to meet at that tavern.
Okay. So you guys are all going to meet up around the Jack-o'-lantern Tavern then?
Yeah, that works with me. That works for me.
Cool. So we get there, and it's probably early in the morning, maybe 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Imagine you walk in. Nicola's probably the last to arrive just because he has the farthest walk. But you come in.
I'm walking with Nicola because he allowed me to stay at his home.
Oh, yeah, he's staying with me.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so then you guys just show up together, and you probably show up with, you can see Frederick, like, eating a big meal, and he's got, like, it's probably a big mug of ale at 7 in the morning. And
He was drinking in the morning yesterday, so...
Yeah, so it's not unusual for him, but however, you guys come in and sit next to him, and did you give the half-orc that runs this bar name last time?
I did not.
Okay. So he probably just walks over and he goes, "Care for some breakfast?"
Wow. The three of us are really a sight to look at.
He goes, "You're telling me. Any breakfast?"
Nah, ale for me.
A small plate.
I'll also just have the ale.
And he says, "Sounds good." And he goes to the back, and the food here does not look like the food from the Pumpkin Spice Tavern. It's probably like very sloppily put on the plate. It's all touching.
It's all touching.
Oh, that's horrific.
The oatmeal.
That's the worst part.
There's like some like runny oatmeal touching the over easy eggs.
It's just slop, just into a bowl. And here you go.
Yeah, and he hands each of you guys an ale, and he says, "Human boy over there, here's you might want some of this on an empty stomach." And he hands you like a couple slices of raw toast, just bread. I was meant to say like cold toast.
Thanks for the
Raw toast, huh?
We're gonna coin that in the chat.
Yeah, that might help a little bit. Thanks, buddy.
Hashtag raw toast.
It's been a long night, but I'm getting there.
And
The ale will be good. Calm your nerves.
yeah, the ale is probably like it's probably not the best. It doesn't have the best flavor, but it is crisp and it is very cold.
Good for me.
Could I get a coffee too? That would probably help a little bit.
He goes, "Oh, it's just want with you, human." Turns around to like the coffee pot, but he just grabs an ale mug and like fills the whole pot into the mug. He's like, he slides it to you. He goes, "Cream, sugar."
No, but you didn't have to waste the cup. You could have just handed me the pot.
He goes, "You already drank the ale."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh well, I'll be damned. Wash them yourself, please." He like walks away.
Great
Wow,
service here, guys. You picked a good bar there, Frederick.
What can I say? I like these kind of people.
I'm starting to understand your personality a little bit.
And the half orc goes back to like what all bar keeps do, standing there cleaning off a mug, and he's like, I don't like you guys though, like under his breath.
All right, so when are we gonna get started on this? The caverns.
Have the guards shown up?
Have the guards shown up?
No, they said they were gonna meet you at the castle.
Those sons of bitches.
That's our
Frederick?
bad.
You made me walk all the way here just to walk back to the castle?
I have to believe that like one of you remembers that, and the rest of like we get a fast cut over to the guards, and they're like, man, for like renowned adventurers, they sure have no idea what on time means. And,
And then I like appear out of the shadows. Come with me.
and they're like, oh. And
I'm guessing that the young one's like writing in his book. What am I doing wrong? Why don't they want to be around me?
Like,
no, I
but
think
you disappeared from the bar, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Into the
shit, where'd he
shadows.
go?
I think instead of like him like wondering what he's doing wrong, there's like a mental fade into his brain, and it's like a note from last night. It's like, dear mom, all is not well in Hollows, and I'm starting to regret this job I took. I miss you dearly. The people are not who they said they were, and the adventurers are mean. Love, Jimmy. And like you see him like seal it, and it's like sealed with like the royal guard like red wax, and like a raven takes it to his mom. And
Adventures are mean.
and
Yeah, I can shadow step, so I just go like just appear in front of them.
yeah, and so they're like, all right, you got it. And they have no, like, as like lower level guards, they have no idea how to not walk without going hup 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 all the way to the Jack-o'-lantern tavern. And they're like running perfectly in line. And I think Balthazar, you notice one of them, instead of like having like the typical guard gear, one of them's got like a single-handed like warhammer. And he has like, I believe it's an ankh. Isn't that like
The Egyptian symbol?
yeah, he's got like an ankh
It's
as
like a cross with like a loop on the end.
yeah. And he's wearing like an ankh, and he has like a book strapped to his side.
I kind of grab his armor, like, what makes you special?
And he says, well, I'm the leader of this small group, and as such, I figured I should keep my men alive. We've been told that none of the guards have returned yet, and I'd like to change that.
Very well. Carry on.
They step into the Jack-o'-lantern tavern, and they sit down at their own separate table, and they get some food for the morning.
What did you just do?
Yeah, where'd you go?
You were here a second ago.
And then you went poof.
You disappeared. What happened?
It's a technique I've learned over the years. Comes in handy.
How old are you?
I'm 60 years old.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
You look like you're 170.
I've been through a lot.
All of us.
We Dragonborn age the same rate as humans do, unfortunately.
I still don't trust you. But
That's fine. We just met.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Well, that's all I can ask for right now.
Now remember, guys, we're playing Niceys today in front of the guards.
Yeah, and I think
These little peewees? These is what they call guards here?
I said Niceys.
They'll do well. Let's get a move on.
Yeah, I think like the real young guard walks up to the three of you, and he's like, he probably like looks at Frederick and goes, "Can I see your ID, sir?" like very like angrily. But can I please get you to make a perception check to see if you notice it's him?
He's not going to. It's not going to go well.
So,
Gee.
Yeah. So he's still he still don't realize it's him.
I'm
wanna
sure
step in front of him.
at this point he's like, okay, he's doing this intentionally.
I want to step in front of him and get in the dude's face and kind of like peel my hood back, and it's like I look like not elderly, but like younger than you thought I'd look with my face, and I kind of get into his face. I'm like, fall in line.
You tell the guard that.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And, he quickly gets in line, and then he pulls out the note, and he's like, "Fuck this." That's all he writes in his notebook and puts it up.
As we stand up to leave, I definitely pat him on the shoulder. I'm like, "Don't worry, kid. I'll at least try not to let either of them eat you." And then I walk away in front of him.
And I think, you guys all walk in front of them, and he's standing in the bar alone, and he goes, "Finally, some recognition." And he runs back up to catch with the party.
I love this.
The recognition was a backhanded.
I love this so much.
Balthazar, why'd you do that back there?
He's being a pest. For no reason.
Yes. But
He's like,
what is that? What business of his coming at me does that have to do with you?
We're his superiors in this fight. He shouldn't talk to you that way.
I'm superior to all of you. What does that matter?
Whoa. I said niceys. And I'm definitely better than both of you. I might not be superior, but I'm better.
I'm gonna ignore that.
As am I, weakling.
Wow. That's just uncalled for there, buddy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm stronger than you there, buddy.
We should probably actually move on.
Yeah, so you guys start to head towards this cavern, and it probably takes you about a day or so, I would imagine, in order to go to the cavern. Once going through, it's about midday. The guards can't keep up with you. You guys are seasoned veterans at this, and they're just not in the same peak physical condition as you guys. So about midday, they're like, "Nicola, Frederick, Balthazar, we need a minute to rest." And
we don't have a minute to
they're
rest.
sweating.
Why did you
they're
not
just
bring horses?
drenched in sweat.
Why did you not bring horses?
He goes, "Well, the Hydra ate all our horses, so we're waiting for more to come."
Our Amazon package hasn't been delivered yet.
We have a standard 72-hour shipping here.
You two haven't spent much time with those of lower standard, have you?
And he said,
No, I'm talking to Frederick and Nicola.
"Oh, okay."
No,
Or,
is this
sorry,
how...
Balthazar and Nicola. You two haven't spent much time with those of a lower grade, have you?
I used to teach in the temple. It takes patience.
No, I've pretty much always been a badass, so.
We need to give them some rest.
We don't
Very
have
well.
time to rest.
An hour to catch their breath, and then we move on.
And they say,
Fine.
"That's all we need." And you see them drinking tons of water, and they're eating rations. It's like they haven't been fed in months, but they definitely just ate this morning. And they're just like, "I don't know how these adventurer types can do this every day."
Jeez, we need to have a talk with the general of the Queen's Guard. They need to up their training regimen. Jesus Christ.
And I think all three of them looking and go, "Please, not Mama Cinder."
Mama Cinder still runs the Queen's Guard?
You call your leader Mama?
You better call her Mama.
God. Hey, Frederick, did your army call you Mama? You Mama
Absolutely
Kruger?
not. They call me Warlord.
I'm gonna call you Mama Kruger.
They call him Big Papa.
Big Papa Cool.
We should.
I love it when you call me
definitely
Big
have
Papa.
to.
You know, it's a hashtag Big Poppy.
Balthazar, you've worked with those of lower grade then, so you and I should definitely talk to the Queen's Guard. To the head of the Queen's Guard. This is ridiculous.
I totally agree with you.
And they get up and like, we're ready to go, sir. And they're like adjusting their armor and they like cinch down their swords and all that stuff. And they're like, sorry, we really needed that.
Never apologize.
And they like, I think the young kid goes, oh, sorry, sir. Oh!
Like,
And he's like, oh, mama.
we're gonna put some hair in her chest today, kid. You'll see.
Like leaving, they walk, they like look at each other and go, they must not know Mama Cinder waxes all that off.
Personally?
Maybe it's time for some upper management change.
Kidding.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move. Let's move.
I think the guards are like, she calls it strength training. I think she just likes
You're
to
clearly
listen
not
to us
strong.
squeal.
So.
I definitely smack one of them on the chest. What do they do?
One of them's like, oh, it was fresh.
I'm like, yeah. Looks like your strength training regimen isn't working so well.
He goes, I agree.
It's fresh. I'm sorry. I'm okay.
And yeah, so you guys continue on, and then as like as the evening sets, you guys know, like by looking at your map, you guys know that you're probably about a half day away from the cavern. But the evening is setting, and if you spent the rest of the evening walking, you could probably get there, but like you would be exhausted in the morning.
Maybe we should set up camp.
Yeah,
I
we
agree.
should probably stop and take a rest for the night.
And the guard's like, absolutely, we should.
It's not really a good thing. It's probably because there's
Get a
stuff
fire.
working around out here.
Set a fire, get a stew going.
Yeah, and I think that's like when you see like these guards that you guys have with you, like this was their time to shine. They set up the camp. They're making a good meal. They make sure like the surrounding area is roped off, like they have a good like system set up. Like this is where like all of their military training like really shows. Like they actually did learn something from Mama Cinder.
They set up a nice camp.
And they're like, thank you, sir. And they like go and they take off their armor, at least like their main pieces, like they leave their chain on. And they just like spend the afternoon, like the evening, cooking stew and like talking about like what their home is like, because all of these people are probably like they've moved to Hallow to be a guardsman, and so they're just like telling stories and this and that, and they're like laughing and having a good time. And I'm not sure, would you guys be doing the same thing, or what would you guys be doing?
I'd probably loosen up a little bit because like this would get my mind off of everything else that's happening, that type of thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd probably, shoot the breeze with them and stuff.
Frederick would appear like his guard is down and he's relaxed, but his guard is very much still up. He's always on the lookout, always being aware of what's going on, even though his perception is not that good.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the evening goes by, and it's starting to get fairly late, and you can tell the guards are ready to go to bed. They restoke the fire and get it ready to go, and they say, so what are we doing about sleeping arrangements? And like
One of you on watch with us every 4 hours.
He says, that's fine by us, sir. And I think who of the party is going to take the first rest, or the first watch?
I'm taking the first watch.
Okay, so it's probably the the guy with the ankh that you saw earlier, he's gonna stay up with you.
Okay.
And he says, "I'll help with them. You guys get some sleep." You can tell like he's being like the protective, like I'm in charge of the group, like I'm in charge of the squad here, so I'm gonna make sure that they're safe, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I got you.
And these other two, like one of them, like has like the people know he's a real young kid, and probably unknown to the other people. The other one's probably not much older.
Yeah, relatively new recruits or like just graduated from
Like their training, in
whatever
the academy, that
training.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
They don't know what they got themselves into.
Yeah. And so yeah, the guardsman, the leader, he sits down with you. He's sitting by the fire and he pours himself like another big like he like grabs like the ladle and gives himself like another big bowl of soup. And he goes, "Things just aren't the way they used to be, are they?" And he like takes a big like bite of his warm soup.
No, they aren't.
He goes,
Everything changes.
He says, "Yeah, it's like things just keep getting worse here. The young guys," and he like leans his head back towards the tent. He says, "They're just not built like you and I back in the day. And you know, do or die." And he says he goes on about just how things in Hallow, just something is is plaguing them, and he's not sure. He even has like he probably even go ahead. Could you make me like either a charisma roll or like maybe like some type of persuasion? Maybe I want to see like how much this guy opens up to you through like your guys' watch. Yeah, that's not bad. So like
For -1, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So he probably tells you like he tells you about like all these different things that have been happening. Like he tells you about the false Hydra, like the ins and outs of the story and stuff like that. But he also tells you that he sometimes even has like a theory that someone within the Queen's like within the Queen's like circle, like her inner circle, he believes that someone in there is helping construe this stuff.
It's a heavy allegation to make. Do you have any evidence?
And he just says, it's a bit odd to me that there's one individual that sticks out more than the others that he always seems to know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen. It's very unsettling to me. They say he's a seer, but I think otherwise.
We'll investigate that once we deal with the cave.
He goes, "I would much appreciate it." And then like he probably like takes another, like he finishes up the last like bit of his soup, and he like looks out. He like stands up and he looks out into the forest. He says, "As a kid, I loved coming here and playing with my friends, my brother, and now all I see is dark, and I just wanted to return to the way it was." And I think like you see like a bit like of his ankh, you assume is glowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes and sits down by you. And I think in the background you hear like the sounds of wolves howling and like rustling in the trees. And it just gives this very like uneasy feeling to both of you.
I cast dark vision on myself with 2 key points.
Sure, yeah, and you look out there and you see two sets of yellow eyes with black pupils. And you probably, what's your passive perception?
12.
A 12. Yeah, you probably even hear like a snarling almost. And then if I could get you to make an actual like investigation check. Yeah, so with seeing the yellow eyes and the snarling and looking, you look up to the sky and you notice that it's a full moon tonight.
Bad news. Wake everybody up right now.
Yeah, and he says, right away, sir. And he comes running into the tents, and he goes,
Armor on, weapons ready.
yeah. And so he wakes up the two young guys. Their names, we're going to name, one of them's name is Jimmy. And what do you think, what does the chat think we should name the other guy? We've been getting a couple of replies in chat. So we've got Jimmy.
Dwight.
Right. Good enough for me. Oh my God. Jimmy and Dwight. I hate this.
Jim and Dwight.
Okay.
I love it.
Jimmy and Dwight. And then the main guy's name is Michael. Cool.
That's fair.
Not a bad name.
So,
Office.
yeah, so Jimmy and Dwight, they're like, you hear them like rustling their armor on as fast as they can. And then Michael walks over and he goes, Frederick, Nicola, up now. We've got an issue.
Mommy, don't take my blanket.
Frederick's up immediately.
What's happening? What?
Frederick, come here.
What? What's up?
And I point out the direction of the eyes.
I also have dark vision, so do I see
no,
it
you
as
do.
well?
Yeah, you definitely see like you see like these two sets of yellow eyes with black pupils, and you can hear like a snarling. And I think both of you, like when this happens, you also get a glimpse of like their clenched sharp teeth, and they appear slightly closer than they were before.
Is this the werewolves that they were talking about earlier?
So what you see me do is I stand up to my full, like I've been kind of hunched over for a while, and Balthazar stands up to his full 7-foot height, and like Obi-Wan takes off his robe, and he's got like just black and purple robes, and he like spins his quarterstaff, and it's kind of like does a Neo like come on thing.
Yeah, he says, "I've got the high ground."
Don't try it.
How far away are they?
They're probably, I think, what dark vision goes out 60 feet.
60 feet, yeah.
Yeah, so they're about 50, 60 feet away, and I think like when the rest of the group comes out, they walk up, and now like in the light, Nicola, you see two werewolves standing in front of you guys.
You definitely see Nicola like hopping out of his tent on one foot, trying to pull his like leg armor up all the way onto his leg. He's like, what is going on? Why'd you wake me up?
Okay, I'm gonna actually can I cast firebolt at a tree that's close to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just rolled a hit. Yeah, that's obviously a hit. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't need to do damage or anything because I'm not trying to hit
how
them.
much you destroy of the tree. Cool. So this tree explodes, and like you hear them like they probably like shudder, and then like they also straighten themselves up to like their peak talk, and they say they both look probably directly at all three of you, like surpassing the guards, and say, "It's not safe here. This is our town now."
I kind of snarl, and then like flames kind of shoot a little bit out of my nose.
Yeah, and they say, like in unison, or like not in unison, but they're like tagging in each other, like in and out of like finishing each other's sentences, and they say something along the lines of like, they say, "It's best that you leave. Boss ain't gonna like if you're here right now."
Who do you work for?
They say, "Well, that's not much of a concern to you, is it?"
Very much is.
What was it? Yeah. So one of them looks and goes, "Dawn, it's fine if we tell them. They're not gonna make it past the evening anyways." And like they snarl at you. And one of them, I think, like walks all the way to like the edge, like where they've roped off like where your guys' camp is. And this is the one one of them's name is Dawn. And this one, Dawn says, we worked for Dr. Villalobos.
Dr. Villalobos. Do I recall anything with that name?
No, that is a name you have not heard. And he
Is
said,
is it a name Frederick would have heard
"No,
in
I
all of
don't.
his war times?
I don't think that. Oh, so make me like a history check. So,
Dang it!
with a 7, Vilabos does not run across your mind. However, I think Nicola, with you living in Hollows, Vilabos, like, it comes to your mind. Like, you don't know exactly where you've heard it, but you've heard this name like recently in the past like month or so.
Nicola definitely like steps in front of her. Was like, yeah, well, you can tell the doctor that I've got a fever.
And like
And-
the two of them look at each other and go, "A fever,"
And then I draw my sword.
and they're like, "Do you want some medicine?"
I mean, I was gonna give you. You know what? It was a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm gonna kill you now, and I start running at them.
Okay, so let's all roll initiative real quick.
Yes.
Okay, so then we're gonna do the werewolves initiative. We're gonna go. Oh. Cool. And then we also have the guards. Okay, so it looks like our turn order will be
Listen to some dope ass music right now while this is going on, and I'm pretty pumped.
Frederick. Then it's gonna be the guards. Fine. I love that Nicola made the charge and he's the last in this initiative order.
It's a lot of armor. I'm a slow person. All right.
I feel like it's like he's like, "I'm gonna kill you now," and starts running, and the rest of the party's like, "Oh, we gotta go too," and they're all significantly faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I think first, Don and Ron are the names of these werewolves. They jump over the. What, Michael?
Nothing.
Don and Ron jump over the top, and they probably run straight at like the young recruits, and they're each gonna take like an attack at these small humans in their armor.
Like, how separated are all of us right now and everything?
Well, I'm assuming that like you guys are fighting inside of like the inside of the campsite, and the campsite I would imagine is no more than 60 feet in diameter, like the whole campground that you guys are fighting in. Would you like me to make like a map real quick, like a general map?
No, I was
Nope.
just like, I'm just trying to picture it, and like, there's some abilities that depend on where we are. Like, I was just wondering.
Gotcha. So, yeah, they're gonna just like make a claw attack, and then they're gonna make a bite attack. So the first one is their claw, and it goes towards the young guardsmen. Roll D20 plus. And like maybe this young guard is like, huh! Like, and backs up as it misses, and then it's gonna like when it does, he leans back. He's gonna try to sink his teeth into the guard. And yeah, this guard is just too agile to get onto them. And then I think the other one is gonna he like runs and jumps right in front of Frederick and is gonna do the exact same thing. $21 hit.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So then it's gonna do. It's not too bad. It's gonna do 7 points of damage,
Cool.
and then it's gonna like throw its claws into, like, it sinks down its teeth, and then it's gonna like try to like use its claws to like almost like squeeze into you.
Okay.
And misses. So maybe it's like the bite like shimmies you a bit out of place, and he just can't get a good grab on you. And then I believe it goes down to Balthazar's next.
Yep. I'm gonna sprint at Ron,
Okay.
and I'm gonna hit him twice. Whack whack.
Yep,
With
go
my quarterstaff.
Sure. That's a hit.
Okay. Let's roll that damage.
Okay, so he takes 5.
Then I'm hit him again. My extra attack.
That's a hit
That's a hit.
for another 5. Okay.
And then I'm going to spend 2 key points, and I'm going to do flurry of blows.
Okay.
That's 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2.
Yep, those both hit.
1, 2.
All right, so that's a total of 33 damage.
Yes.
And yeah, so you
And then, oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
do your.
Yeah, no, so you
Flavor.
you hit him with like, it's like a quick like pop with the quarterstaff, and like this is probably, I believe Ron's the one that just sunk its teeth into Frederick. And like after you do that, it like loosens his grip on Frederick's, like it's probably like the meaty part of his shoulder, and then you just hit him a couple more times, and he completely lets go of the bite, and he like whimpers a bit, but like then snarls, and then you can continue what you wanted to do.
And then I'm gonna vanish into the shadows. Just poof, shadow step as a bonus action.
Cool. Yeah. So then you do that, and like he looks around, and then he looks back at Frederick, and then is that all you've got?
That's it. Yeah.
Cool. And then so next is, I believe it is Frederick next.
It is me. So I have one that is. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Firebolt on the one that is real close to me.
Okay. Yeah. That's so if you cast it on him, he's like adjacent to you, so you'll be a disadvantage. If you want to target the other one, though, you're fine.
Okay, then I will do Shocking Grasp on him.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you shock the mess out of him. And he's like, and then like you see him, like he's a bit toasty, but he's like standing there weak, like severely weakened, but he's still standing.
Okay.
And then he probably like shouts to Dawn. He's like, Dawn, we might be in over our head here. And then it's the guards' turn, and so the guards are gonna just get out their swords. The first guard on Dawn does hit. For 4 damage, okay. And then the other guard, he's probably does the same, and he does another 4 damage, but this one to Ron, and Ron is, he's now helping you, Frederick, fight Ron. And then finally we see our, the guy with the Ankh that Balthazar has been super curious about. We see him, let's see what I got here. He comes running in, and oh sweet, he looks at this guy next to Frederick, and he goes, where is it? I just saw it. He says, you will come with me to the depths of hell, and throws, and he does this. He hits. And I think you guys all see like this huge light of radiant, like this energy of radiant light, strike down this werewolf, and he just falls to the ground, and he's now limp.
Oh.
And so now it's just Dawn that is left, and Dawn's like, Oh no! And then now it is Nicola's turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like step into the guards that Dawn was attacking, and I'm gonna take out my long sword, and I'm just gonna start swinging on them.
Sure.
That doesn't hit, does it?
11 does hit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I take 10,
Yep.
and then my second swing.
That is a miss.
That's a miss.
Yeah, so the first one just sinks in, and I imagine like the next one you come back out, and it just gave him enough time to react to back the way out of it.
Cool.
And so I think here he immediately goes, okay, can I just save my brother? And like he like is gonna run towards him. So if you want to take an opportunity attack against him, Kyle.
I will take an opportunity attack against him.
Ooh. All right.
And
Just
if he's still alive, his speed drops to 0.
Yeah, so he's still alive. So you hit him, and like as he's running, he just plummets to the ground, and like he's looking at like his brother like on the ground, and he says, "I'll tell you what you want to know. Please just let me save him." And like he's like trying to move, but he can't move.
Yeah, you'll tell us everything that we need to know.
So yeah, then the next person, it is Frederick's turn, I believe. It's Balthazar's turn. So it's totally up to you what you wanna do, Balthazar. Do you tell the guards to stand down? Do you finish this guy off? Do you think he has viable information for you?
He could. I emerge from the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, hold. Sheathe your weapons. He is no longer a threat.
That's mighty bold of you to say.
And he says, "Yeah, I'm not a threat. I'm just a little werewolf."
Shut up.
Oh.
The queen was telling your friends how the werewolves have been plaguing the city. We need to take care of this now, and we kill him.
He might have information. What is your boss? Who is he? Where is he?
He goes, "Well, my boss is he's give me 1 second. I'm actually blanking on the name.
Find
I'm pulling up
words
the file.
or lose your tongue."
Oh, it's on my phone. Yeah, he's like panicking, and he goes, "I work for Orazio and Zithril."
2 people?
Zithril and Orazio.
And he says,
Those are
"Yeah."
different names than you gave before.
He says, "Yes, Dr. Villalobos, also known as Orazio."
An alias. Why?
He may be lying.
He may be, but it's something to go on when we enter the cave.
And he says,
And then I just stomp on his throat. Just
We could have asked what they were.
yeah. So go ahead and make an unarmed strike on him, and it's going to be at advantage. So it's a 22 because he's laying prone. And then just roll the damage real quick. So I think with that, it totally like at glance he's definitely dead, but it just totally just knocks him out.
Well, I guess we'll just hope that there's more werewolves in there.
You know, I admire that, Balthazar. That was ruthless. And I appreciate ruthlessness.
he is scum. It's what
Agreed.
it deserves.
And I think one of the guards go, "Man, these adventurers are so cool."
Yes, we are.
And they're probably like spooked the rest of the night, so like they don't sleep very well. But they're like, "I think I'm gonna try to get some more sleep now."
Did anyone have any silver?
I think like one of like Yes, Jimmy runs up to you and he goes, I don't have much, but will this help? And he hands you about like 20 silver pieces.
So like a weapon.
And he goes, no, why would you need silver?
I'll take 2 of the pieces.
Uh-huh.
Shit, is this metagaming? I'm sorry. Should I stop right now?
No. This is fine. I feel at level 12 as adventurers, you would know this information about a werewolf.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk up to one of the dead bodies and I'm gonna flip him over and put one of the silver pieces on his chest and punch it into him.
Okay, yeah. So you do that and you like hear like it's probably Ron, the one that was just like not Ron, Don, and he like you hear him just go
and I go over to the other one.
Like
I do the same thing.
Yeah, and when you do it to him, he's already dead. Like he it's no big deal here.
Just
Just
can
to
never be sure. Yeah.
Good idea.
It's fucking lycanthropes. Anywho, I think
Shall
it's
we
time
keep
to
going to the caves?
Well, it's the
Or do we
evening.
want to keep sleeping?
We must finish our rest and we'll move on in the morning.
Okay. That's fair by me. Balthazar, you took the first watch. I'll take the second one.
Very well. And I just kind of go into like a meditative state, but then there's like darkness and like purple and black shadows just kind of like emanating from my body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think so. In the second watch, it's going to be Frederick and Jimmy on this watch. And Jimmy is probably like sitting. He probably like stirs like.
It's Jimmy, the one that
He's the one that ID'd you at the beginning.
Okay, cool. I'm so happy that you made it that guy.
So it's you two, and he's like stirring the pot of stew from the evening, and he's like, "You want any of the rest of this?"
Yeah, I'll take some.
All right. So like he serves it like an even mix to the both of you and finishes off the pot. And
Thank you.
He's like sitting there eating, trying to like warm up and stay calm because like he's real young and he's never seen werewolves or anything like this. Like when he signed up, he probably like tells you when he signed up for the guard, he didn't know it would be this. He thought it would just be watching the queen and picking up cute girls, being a guardsman together, talking about all these things that he's learning about life. And he finally he looks over to you and goes, daybreak at last. And I think that's where we'll go ahead and take our 5-minute break before we go into hour 3.